baffling detail noticed by fans. While Lively's conversation with Meyers was engaging, fans quickly noticed that she was not wearing her wedding ring, which sparked speculation and discussion on social media.
Lastly, fans also noticed something else. Blake wasn't wearing her iconic engagement ring, swapping it for bold statement jewelry instead. From legal battles to subtle fashion signals, it's clear Blake is choosing her words and her statements very carefully.
This year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life.
Blake Lively opened up about her emotional year, her kids, and why she's dressing to impress a toddler.
This year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life.
Blake Lively getting candid on Late Night with Seth Meyers.
It's no surprise I've had a pretty intense year.
Last night, Blake Lively broke her silence regarding the Justin Baldoni drama, appearing on Late Night with Seth Meyers. We got the clips, but I hope you're sitting down. It'd be frustrating how Seth and just Hollywood in general seems to be accepting it. It'd be kind of like Harvey Weinstein showing up on a late night show after the accusations, and everyone is applauding him and going, you know, these women are just...
As I shared with you a while ago, Justin Baldoni's accuser has a new project out already. Secrets of the Penguins features narration by the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband.
You got that right. The actress has been wrapped up in a legal battle since December, when she kicked off a series of back-and-forth lawsuits with her It Ends With Us co-star/director Justin Baldoni.
There's more evidence and stuff that's painting the picture that Blake Lively's not being honest. And also, what are you afraid of? And what did he actually do? I wish these are the questions that Seth Meyers would have asked, but alas, he didn't.
National Geographic shared a clip from the new series. They noticeably did not mention the shampoo company owner in their caption. So I left a comment, narration by Blake Lively.
Justin's denied any wrongdoing and, for the most part, stayed pretty quiet.
You're right, Blake!
Blake's also been skipping press, avoiding interviews at the Another Simple Favor premiere. The late night appearance now her one and only interview for the sequel.
We were so lucky to be here.
I know that we're here.
Thank you guys so much. You'll be really happy when
All right, let's not beat around the bush. Blake Lively showed up to Seth Meyers with no wedding ring. And no, it wasn't a fashion choice. It was a loud, silent message wrapped in red carpet glam and daytime talk show smiles. She's been married to Ryan Reynolds for over a decade, 4 kids, countless couple goals. And yet, on the very night she drops a tear-jerking confession about living through her lowest lows. That band was M.I.A. Now I get it. Celebs skip rings all the time. Maybe it didn't match the outfit. Maybe she left it on the sink. But let's be real. This wasn't just any night. This was Blake's first sit-down since her name got dragged into a $400 million courtroom circus with Justin Baldoni. This was her comeback moment, and she made sure we noticed what wasn't there. And then came the quote that set the internet on fire.
I think I want to make you pay. I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences.
She did also speak out at the Time 100 Gala, though, revealing her mom's story of abuse.
She is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman.
Fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. Whoa. Suddenly that missing ring didn't feel like a styling choice anymore. It felt like a warning flare, a breadcrumb, maybe even a silent SOS. And trust me, this wasn't the only time she ditched the ring lately. Fans have receipts. Theories are already flying. Is the Blake Ryan fairy tale cracking under pressure? Or is this just smart PR while the biggest legal feud in Hollywood brews in the background? Whatever the answer is, we're about to break it all down. The ring, the lawsuit, the A-list unfollows, the dead silent Reynolds, and everything Blake didn't say on camera, but showed us anyway. Because sometimes the loudest message is what's missing. So let's rewind a bit. That missing wedding band on Seth Meyers? Not a one-off, because Blake's been stepping out ring-free way more than once lately, and fans have definitely noticed. First, there was the Soho lunch run. No glam, no publicist, just Blake in a hoodie, oversized shades, and a very empty left hand.
Thank you for giving me content. I know you all might love penguins, but perhaps you dislike the Van Zan CEO. If that's the case, watching this is supporting her. Just saying.
Paparazzi zoomed in instantly. Reddit threads blew up overnight. Some fans brushed it off. But then it happened again. A week later, she showed up for a Met Gala fitting. Same hand, still bare, no sparkles, no subtle band, not even the signature engagement rock Ryan gave her back in 2012. Just nothing. Now here's where it gets really interesting. At the Green Day Walk of Fame event, she actually did wear a ring, but not her wedding band. She had on a totally different piece. Still flashy, still elegant, but definitely not the one she's worn for years. Fans called it the decoy diamond. Others think it was a silent clapback. Like, I wear what I want, deal with it. And yeah, in Hollywood, switching up jewelry isn't usually a headline. But Blake's always been intentional. She's not someone who rolls out of bed and forgets her ring before a national TV appearance.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say without going too into it is that this year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life. And I see so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences. And fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent.
Especially not while she's neck deep in a high-profile legal mess with a co-star. Her husband's name is getting dragged into court docs, and the internet is dissecting every move she makes like it's a murder mystery. This isn't about fashion anymore. It's about messaging, about control, about what you show the world when you're not ready or legally allowed to say everything out loud. And here's the kicker. Every time the ring went missing, the smile stayed perfectly in place. It's like she's saying, I'm good, don't ask. But also, pay attention, and oh yeah, we're paying attention. Because next comes the moment that really tipped it all over, the moment she finally said something. Not about the ring, but about the pain behind it. And that's where Seth Meyers walked straight into the storm. So the stage is set. Blake Lively walks out onto Seth Meyers' set, flawless as ever. Flowy black dress, classic Blake confidence, charming as hell, but again, no ring.
Acknowledge that many people don't have the opportunity to speak. So I do feel fortunate that I've been able to. And it's the women who have had the ability to use their voice that's kept me strong and you know, helped me in my belief and my fight for the world to be safer for women and girls. It's a pretty simple thing.
Now, you'd think this was going to be just another promo stop. Light laughs, a few safe stories, maybe some cute banter about her kids or Ryan. But nah, this was something else. Because mid-interview, Seth, being the smooth late-night vet he is, asks about how she's been navigating the chaos of the last year. And that's when Blake drops it. It's been the highest highs and the lowest lows. And fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. Boom. Dead silence. Even Seth froze for a second. You could practically hear producers behind the camera holding their breath. It wasn't just a statement, it was a loaded shot. And she knew exactly what she was doing. Because for months now, Blake hasn't said a word about the lawsuit. Nothing about the drama with Justin Baldoni. Nothing about the $400 million countersuit that dragged her husband into the crossfire. She's been stone cold silent while headlines swirled and fan theories spiraled. But that line, that was her speaking without saying it all. It hit social media like wildfire. Within 6 hours, TikTok had chopped it into bite-sized clips. Twitter lit up. Think pieces started flying. Is Blake Lively calling out Hollywood's culture of silence? Some said it was the new time's up moment.
I'm certainly going to respect that you're in a position where you can't talk about it more. And I think a lot of people hoped we would talk about it more, but I think we gave him that crushed ice thing.
Yeah,
that's more than
I think that's what they came for.
Others weren't so sure. Was she just playing the sympathy card right before the trial starts? But no matter where you land, here's the truth. She made people listen. And the timing wasn't random. This was Blake taking back the narrative, on her terms, in her own words. And let's not ignore Seth either. Props to him for letting the silence hang. He didn't cut away, didn't joke it off, just let her moment breathe. Because when Blake Lively decides to finally speak, even late-night TV leans in. But hold up, this isn't just about emotional quotes and viral clips. Behind the camera, there's a legal war brewing, and it's getting nastier by the day. All right, time to pull back the curtain? While the internet was dissecting Blake's ring finger and decoding her talk show quotes, something way bigger was brewing behind the scenes. A full-on legal bloodbath. And trust me, this ain't some petty celebrity feud. This is Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni in a legal war so explosive, it could nuke the entire It Ends With Us franchise before it even hit streaming. Here's the backstory, quick and dirty. Blake and Justin co-starred in the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's mega-hit novel. He also directed it. But once filming wrapped, things got ugly. Fast.
Here's the introduction. They're showing a clip from the film, and then she comes out in her way too big dress. Welcome. But right out the gate, there's just a level of awkwardness because, yeah, the dress doesn't fit his small chairs.
Blake accused Justin of going completely off script, showing her scenes and footage that she claims she never agreed to, and creating a toxic work environment behind the camera. Then came the bombshell, allegations of harassment. Blake reportedly said he made her uncomfortable with inappropriate material during script rewrites and editing sessions. Justin didn't just deny it, he fired back hard, filed a $400 million countersuit, claiming defamation, reputational damage, and even dragging Ryan Reynolds into the mess. Yup, Deadpool himself got named in the paperwork. According to Justin, Ryan showed up at a production meeting and got verbally aggressive, allegedly threatening Justin's reputation and pulling strings to shield Blake. His legal team called it a coordinated smear campaign. And that's just what made it to court. Multiple motions have already been filed. There's talk of evidence suppression, rumors of NDAs, even whispers that Sony's execs tried to kill the release behind the scenes to avoid backlash. But the biggest move yet? Trial is officially set for March 9th, 2026. And yeah, that means every messy detail is going to be dragged out in public unless someone settles fast. Now, both teams are lawyering up with Hollywood's top legal sharks. Blake's reportedly got a crisis PR firm on retainer. Justin's lawyers are leaking just enough info to keep him in control of the narrative. For now. And guess who's dead silent through it all? Ryan Reynolds, the same guy who posts cheeky jokes on Twitter every other day. Not a single word about this mess, not even a sarcastic meme, which honestly says a lot. But we'll get to Ryan in a second, because what he's not saying might be louder than anything Blake just revealed on camera. Now, let's talk about the ghost in the room.
It is like, dude, know the show. And it's not, she did that for the photo op outside, it feels like, more than for the interview inside.
Ryan Reynolds. Because while Blake's been dropping emotional quotes and showing up ringless, Ryan's been doing something even louder, staying completely silent. And for a guy who built his brand on non-stop tweets, Instagram pranks, and cheeky dad jokes, that's silence. Yeah, it's deafening. Let's rewind to the moment things got really spicy, when Justin Baldoni's legal team officially named Ryan in that $400 million countersuit. They claimed he stormed into a production meeting, got heated, and threatened Justin's reputation unless certain scenes were fixed. Allegedly threw his weight around like it was a Marvel boardroom. Since then, radio. Freaking. Silence, no denial, no joke, no side-eye emoji, not even a generic "we stand by each other" post for Blake. And fans have noticed. Hard. There was a moment at the Green Day Walk of Fame event where Ryan got asked very directly about the lawsuit and Travis Kelce unfollowing him on Instagram. What did he do? Straight up ignored the question. Walked past reporters like it never happened. Didn't flinch, didn't break stride. Even Marvel fans are starting to whisper. Because Deadpool 3 is deep in post-production, and Ryan's image is crucial to the rollout.
We knew this, but I like, it's interesting Seth went there immediately, and now, oh, yeah, you didn't get to put your product placement in this time. And even Seth makes a joke about it.
Put his gin in.
Director put his gin in.
Do you have to go home and tell Ryan, like, I have bad news?
No, it was like, baby, I have something to tell you. We're going to talk about it here, and we're going to forget it ever happened.
Gotcha.
Okay?
The studio's reportedly keeping tabs on the lawsuit's timeline, worried the media firestorm could hit right when marketing kicks off. It's the ultimate tightrope. If he speaks up, he risks fanning the flames. If he stays quiet, he looks guilty, or at least complicit. And then there's the personal side. No couple pics with Blake lately, no birthday posts, no red carpet PDA. Sure, they're known for trolling each other online, but now, it's just silence. Calculated? Absolutely. But supportive? Kinda hard to tell. And that brings us to the latest curveball, one that didn't come from a courtroom, but from Instagram. Travis Kelce hit unfollow. And that move, it blew this whole thing wide open. If you thought things couldn't get messier, wait till the Swifties enter the chat. because out of nowhere, Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram, and the internet went full detective mode. At first, people thought it was a glitch, like maybe the algorithm was bugging out, or Ryan's account got shadow banned or something. But nope, multiple fan accounts confirmed it. Travis was following Ryan on Tuesday, and by Thursday, gone. Now let's be real. Unfollowing someone in 2025 is the digital version of slamming a door in their face, especially when you're dating Taylor Swift, and your circle includes some of the most PR-polished people on Earth. So what gives? Well, let's connect the dots. Blake and Taylor are longtime besties, like matching Halloween costumes and 4th of July selfies close. They've had each other's backs for years. Blake even directed one of Taylor's music videos. That kind of bond runs deep, but ever since this lawsuit exploded, there's been a noticeable chill in their public interactions. No recent shoutouts, no collab hints, no cozy get-togethers. And fans started wondering, did Taylor quietly step back to avoid the drama? Now cue Travis. A tight inner circle move like that, unfollowing Ryan while still following other Hollywood folks, felt strategic. Like,
Seth did the better joke, and then Blake was like, the whole thing just starts awkward out the gate, and shows just admits to how controlling this couple actually is.
Hey, I'm with Taylor and we're not riding with this circus right now. Some sources even say Travis did it after reading the court docs where Ryan's name popped up. And if that's true, whew, that's not just drama, that's realignment. What's wild is Ryan hasn't addressed it. Didn't follow back, didn't throw shade, just more silence. Which honestly is starting to look like his entire game plan at this point. And Taylor, she hasn't said a word either. But with her album dominating charts and the Eras tour still a juggernaut, she doesn't need to. Silence in this world is calculated and powerful. And while Blake's been handling her side with strategic statements and carefully curated appearances, the people around her, they're making just as much noise by doing absolutely nothing. But don't think for a second the Hollywood machine is ignoring all this. Because behind every viral clip and unfollow scandal, there's a studio exec having a full-blown panic attack. So while social media has been unraveling like a soap opera, the people who actually work in Hollywood, yeah, they're sweating bullets. And not just because of the lawsuit, because this whole mess, Blake versus Baldoni, Ryan pulled in, Kelce unfollowing, Taylor going ghost, is putting real pressure on the industry's tight-knit, super-controlled PR machine. Let's start with the rare moment someone actually spoke up. Director Paul Feig. Out of nowhere, Feig jumped into the conversation like a protective big brother, blasting what he called an online gang for coming after Blake. He called her an incredible collaborator, deeply professional, and committed to telling the story the right way.
As you just sarcastically throwing jokes out to see what'll stick, and I feel like that's what you did with this whole lawsuit.
Now, Paul's not some random dude on the sidelines. He's directed major blockbusters. He's industry royalty. So when he throws down like that, it's not just a defense, it's a signal. A message to studios, journalists, and even castmates. She's got people in her corner. But not everyone's feeling quite so brave. Multiple sources say Sony's top execs are in full-on damage control mode. Wayfarer, the studio backing It Ends With Us, has reportedly paused all marketing spend for the film. Posters pulled, social content delayed. One insider even said the internal vibe is, we might never release this. And that wouldn't be the first time a film got shelved to avoid a PR nightmare. Remember Batgirl? Big budget, huge names, scrapped entirely. Now, rumors are floating that Blake could demand Final Cut control or threaten to walk from press duties unless the film's rollout is delayed until after the trial. It's a studio chess match, and everyone's holding their breath. Because if this movie tanks, it won't just be a loss for Sony, it'll be a stain on multiple careers. Even agents are whispering. Some say this lawsuit has already cost people roles. Blake reportedly turned down 2 romantic comedy scripts this year. Justin's upcoming directing gig, suspended until further notice. The entertainment world is small, people talk, and when you've got lawsuits, NDAs, and major talent involved, that talk can turn into blacklists real quick. So while Blake's out here making headlines with quotes and fashion choices, and Ryan's keeping it suspiciously quiet, the real drama might just be playing out in office boardrooms and lawyer-filled Zoom calls. But nothing pressures a couple like what's next. Marriage rumors, ring speculation, and 4 kids caught in the middle. Underneath all the lawsuits, PR statements, and late-night interviews, there's still the part that hits closest to home. Blake and Ryan's marriage. They've been Hollywood's golden couple for over a decade. Funny, flirty, unbothered. The kind of pair that made fans believe love could actually survive the spotlight. But lately, something's off. Blake called her kids her lifeline on Seth Meyers. That's sweet, sure. But it also sounded like the kind of thing you say when your partner isn't the lifeline anymore. There was no mention of Ryan. Not even a vague, "he's been my rock." Just silence.
Blake Lively sits down with Seth Meyers and opens up about a year she would rather forget.
I'm maybe not as totally informed about it as other people.
I'm
But
thrilled
if
you're not doing Weekend Update right now because you would be quite informed. So
Okay.
it's good, yeah.
And that silence has been louder than ever. No birthday tributes, no anniversary posts, no paparazzi pics showing the usual hand-holding or inside jokes. Even at the Green Day event where they showed up together, body language experts broke it down frame by frame. Ryan keeping distance, Blake leaning in but not touching him, eyes darting instead of locking. It didn't scream, "we're good." It screamed, "we're trying to look good." And then there's the ring, or lack of it. Not just missing, but consistently, strategically absent. So, what are we watching unfold? A couple weathering a brutal media storm, or two people quietly growing apart while the world watches? Either way, something's shifted, and fans feel it in their gut. So here we are, a missing ring, a $400 million lawsuit, friends unfollowing, studios stalling, and two of Hollywood's biggest names suddenly playing everything way too close to the chest. Blake may have said, "Fear is by design," but that silence, that strategy, calculated moves, hidden meanings, and a marriage caught in a pressure cooker of headlines, legal threats, and carefully timed appearances. Is the ring really just off for style? Or is it a quiet signal from a woman who's been pushed to the edge, personally, professionally, and publicly? One thing's clear, this isn't just a celebrity feud anymore, it's a Hollywood reckoning. So, what do you think? Is Blake holding it all together behind the scenes? Or is this the beginning of the end for her and Ryan? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want all the tea when court filings drop, celebs start picking sides, or this story takes yet another wild left turn. Because let's be honest, if this is just the calm before the storm, the next headline could shatter everything.